They have no timeouts remaining.
He causes too many timeouts. That's a technical foul.
They have a timeout. They can't do so.
I don't think they had a timeout. Did they have the one left?
It'll be a technical foul.
Welcome to No Timeouts Left, hosted by Coach Klein and Money Mike Phillips.
Oh, man.
Idiot, dude.
Wow.
Idiot. It's so...
I can't believe I just read that.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
I'm speechless right now.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You guys.
Okay, so, all right, sorry. We'll get started now. Antonio Brown,
Welcome.
man. Oh, sorry. Welcome to No Timeouts Left, episode 24. This is going to be a heck of an episode due to some breaking news we just received.
Yeah, we're all riled
regarding
up.
a subject we are definitely about to talk about. We are about to talk about Antonio Brown. We are also about to talk about NFL Week 1. Give a little recap. Pick'em results.
That's Coach Klein over there. This is Money Mike right here.
I'm a little disheveled right now.
It's cool. It's cool. I'm covering it for you, dog.
Thanks,
I got you, man.
I appreciate it, Mike. Got my back. This is Coach Klein. We will also talk about college football Week 2 recap and talk about some games coming up this week that we look forward to and you should look forward to as well. We will close the show up with a UFC 242 recap and some Champs versus Chumps. So, let's get it going.
So,
Antonio Brown.
boy howdy.
AB 84.
This guy.
This dude is out of his mind.
Yep.
Threw all kinds of fits to get out of Pittsburgh. Wanted out so bad. Acted like a child.
Demanded to be released.
I'm talking about Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about the
There,
very
too.
beginning. We're
He
going to
wanted
go
that
all
trade
the way
so
back on
bad.
this one.
Okay. Let's go.
Gets traded to the Raiders.
Yeah, I believe.
Pretty big trade.
Pretty big.
Goes to Oakland. John Gruden. Derek Carr. I mean, there's some hope there. That
A
could
lot
be
of promise.
That could be a pretty good team. So, there it is on ESPN. It is official.
It's official.
Okay.
Oh, no.
We'll get there. Everything seems like it fits. Antonio Brown in Oakland. Makes sense.
Oh, yeah. He's getting a big contract. What,
And-
$30 million guaranteed?
Wow. Sorry, guys. All right. Here we go. Antonio Brown suddenly turns just absolutely bonkers, and let's see, he froze his feet in a cryo chamber.
That was the first red flag.
First red flag. Just kind of out of nowhere. It was
Overseas in a cryo chamber at that. Like, why?
yeah. So many questions to
I
that.
don't understand.
And we covered that a couple episodes ago. Then he has disagreements about his contract, or no, just disagreements with
The helmet at first, I
the
believe.
helmet. Yeah, it was the helmet. That's right. Okay, I guess there was nothing about the contract till later.
Not until after he violated.
Right. So he can't wear the helmet he's always worn anymore, and starts throwing tantrums and fails miserably at getting it appealed over and over. Misses practice, misses training camp. The Raiders fine, and I think even suspended him.
Oh, yeah.
And they fined him pretty heavy.
They were going to suspend him after he got in a fight with the GM, I believe.
With Mike Mayock.
Yeah.
Calling him all kinds of things.
They informed him they were going to suspend him after that.
Yeah, and they fined him pretty heavy. And he freaked out, wanted to be released, this and that. And then all of a sudden, I guess he had a phone call with John Gruden, and he kind of came around and
Did
had
the meeting with
did
the
this big
captains
meeting
behind him.
with the captains behind him crying. It was all emotional, and everything was going to be A-okay. And then the Raiders considered playing him. Then the next morning, he posts on Instagram, "Release me." And by the end of the day, not even the end of the day, by midday, gets released. By the end of the day, he signs with the Patriots.
Yeah. For like $10 million guaranteed.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So, as if that wasn't bad enough to begin with for all the obvious reasons, I also think, just signed him to an extension, too. Like, immediately. They pretty much gave him an extension from the contract he was given.
And then this news dropped.
Well, no, hold on.
Wait.
Then the Patriots show us they don't even need him.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Very true.
So we were going to have this talk about Antonio Brown tonight. It's Tuesday night around 8:21 Central Time. And we get news of Antonio Brown being accused of sexually assaulting his former trainer, according to a lawsuit filed on Tuesday.
Jeez.
So that would be today.
The bomb dropped.
Now, this could be one of the money ploys. It could be. I'm not saying it is. But judging on Antonio Brown's behavior lately,
you haven't really made a good character for yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't trust him. So, I mean, tell me why I should. If you think I should, please.
I don't think there's a reason.
Please at me.
Yeah.
I would love to know if you think I should. I don't think I should trust him. And I mean, screw the poll that we posted about who was the biggest diva receiver of all time. Antonio Brown won that anyways with 86%. T.O. Yeah, landslide. T.O. at 14% and 0 votes for Randy Moss or Ocho Cinco. Not a big surprise. I figured T.O. might, that saga went on for a long time in Philadelphia. It was like a year's worth of ESPN.
It's
I'm not
like
kidding.
all year
that
long
and Barry
with this
Bonds
guy.
at that time, but I digress. Anyways, Antonio Brown takes the cake after this, if
For
this
sure.
is true. And I had also posted a poll, not that it even matters at this point, Antonio Brown and the Raiders, can it be fixed? 87% obviously said no, 13% said yes. That's more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So
Some hopefuls out there.
So I guess the case is Brittany Taylor filed a federal lawsuit in Florida on Tuesday, today. The lawsuit says she was sexually assaulted and raped in 3 separate incidents.
Oh
It was
my
reported
gosh.
the first 2 were in 2017 and then forced himself on her and raped her. The 2 met while they were attending Central Michigan and Taylor was a gymnast.
This could be a money thing. I don't want to.
Could be.
I'm not pointing fingers either way. I'm going to stay biased on
But
this.
there again,
I got to trust the girl until it's proven.
Well, no, it's
you
not
know?
even that. It's he has given me no reason to trust him
That's
to
true
begin
too.
with.
That's true too.
So
I
guess we're going to see where this goes.
Yeah,
We're going to have a
we're
little
gonna
bit
have to
more of
stay
an in-depth
close on
talk
this.
about this, about all the things that happened. But
I can't speak on it until I know everything.
yeah, so we're going to wait. We're going to come back to this probably on the next episode, more than likely. And it's time for a week 1 recap of the NFL.
I think it's safe to say that all these fans came out here to watch a game of football.
John, we're in commercial.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making conversation.
All right, time for that week 1 recap. We'll kind of jet through some of these. We'll start with the Chargers beating the unlucky Colts. Get it? 30-24. No surprise there. I mean, Brissett didn't look too bad. They hung in there.
He's good on his short game right now. We'll see how good he is when he gets the rust shaken off. But
Yeah.
he played it safe in this first game, I believe.
I can imagine it's tough to just step in like that, especially after Andrew Luck.
Oh yeah, huge shoes to fill. Huge.
Yeah.
He was the franchise. He was the guy everybody wanted on their team.
Yeah.
The fantasy killer.
Yeah.
And now he's gone.
Yeah.
Ah.
Anyways,
Sorry. I got worked up.
No, you're good. The Titans topple the overhyped Browns 43-13. A lot of dirty play out of the Browns in this
Tennessee
game.
pride was good.
Yeah, we'll mention that later. Titans didn't look too bad.
They were solid.
There were some moments they didn't look great, but I mean they played well.
Delaney showed up.
Delaney did show up. Derrick Henry had some good action here and there.
Oh yeah, he was very solid. Very solid.
AJ Brown getting his first catch.
I think he's gonna.
I think he got his first touchdown too, didn't he?
I believe so.
I think he did.
I believe so.
We'll check
Look
on
into
that.
that.
But it was a good game for the Titans. Hope they can keep that going. But it's the Browns, so let's see what happens when they play a better team.
Yeah,
I'll
the
just leave it at
Browns were
that.
just so hyped up. That's
Yeah,
what's
and
crazy about it.
The Browns, the clowns.
Yeah.
You got OBJ wearing a $350,000 quote unquote plastic watch.
I think it was 190,000. I think I got their number wrong, but still, that's a lot of money.
Whatever.
For
It's
a
not
plastic
plastic.
watch. Maybe it is.
It's not.
But what kind of $200,000 watch is plastic? No. Don't lie to us, man.
Yeah. The bottom of the barrel Cardinals and Lions end in a tie at 27.
With Kyler Murray actually making it happen there. Like, towards the end, he looked very solid.
He looked a lot better than he did in the first half.
He was
that's for
having
sure.
passes batted down left and right. It was so bad.
Yeah. He, as I said before, should have stuck with baseball. Sorry you got to deal with being on a bad team.
gonna be a rough couple
Cowboys
years.
win the home opener against the Giants 35-17.
Yeah, buddy.
Like I said, it's hard to pick against the Cowboys at home.
They came out swinging.
Yeah,
and
they
I mean,
did.
Zeke didn't even have to do much. Like, the schemes from Kellen Moore alone were just so well done, in my opinion. I mean, he's got people in motion everywhere, and then you don't really know where the ball's going until it's gone.
The Chiefs defeat the Jags 40-26. The big story out of this game, well, Tyreek Hill got hurt as well.
And 2 big injuries in this one.
Yeah, and we'll discuss these in a bit. But Foles also got hurt, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. The Eagles snuck past the Redskins after starting out 17 points down. They came back and won 32-27.
Solid game from Wentz. I mean,
Yep.
he had a couple bombs to Deshaun Jackson, and it was over.
Hey, shout out to Case Keenum. Didn't look too bad for
didn't?
the role he's playing.
But 7 points in the second half ain't going to do it for you, bud. Come on now.
The Rams beat the Panthers in a close game, 30-27. Not really anything huge out of that game.
Nah.
Just a standard Rams-Panthers game.
I mean, Todd
Honestly.
Gurley didn't do too great,
Yeah.
but I wasn't really expecting much.
A lot of close games this week. You also had the Bills eke one out against the Jets. After they go scoreless in the first half, they came back and won 17-16. You also had comebacks galore. I mean, it's just been an interesting story in the NFL lately.
The first week of NFL has been so much fun.
Vikings run all over Atlanta, winning 28-12. Dalvin Cook looking impressive.
Oh, yeah. I said that when we were talking about our picks, man. I said Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Or I think if I didn't say it during the podcast, I
definitely
said
thought
it
it.
outside or something. But still.
The Ravens dismantle and destroy the Dolphins and crush their morale, winning 59-10. We'll talk about that in Champs versus Chumps.
Just Lamar Jackson.
Packers beat the Bears. Aaron Rodgers shines. Trubisky fades.
Yeah, we both didn't pick that one.
Nope.
Gosh, I don't think anybody really thought this game was going to be that much of a sleeper.
Very few people on the pick'em at my work picked the Packers.
And it was just such a boring defensive game.
Congratulations.
So boring.
Congratulations to Clee, by the way. 2 losses. 2 losses. Let's see. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing San Francisco. Jameis throws 2 pick sixes, and they lose 31-17.
Who's y'all's backup again?
Who was the Titans' backup last year?
Gabbert,
yes, thank you.
Blaine.
Oh, no, he's hurt. It's Testaverde.
Oh, yeah, it's Testaverde
I think there's somebody
Jr..
else in between, and I'm just blanking
Put
out
him
right
in,
now.
dude. Put in Testaverde Jr. He's
That
got
would
it
be
in
incredible.
his blood, man. Just put him
Defense
in there.
looked good. Jameis did not.
We're going to be
all I
the
gotta say.
podcast that gets Testaverde to start. That's what we're going to do.
We could be the first Testaverde Jr. supporting podcast.
If you send us a jersey, that would be nice.
Hey, I'm not going to say no to that.
I would totally wear it.
I'd rock it. Seahawks barely beat the Bengals 21-20. Another close
Surprising game.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
Dalton didn't look bad.
No.
He looked good.
No. I mean,
He has the ability. I think a lot of it was coaching and just the general vibe of Cincinnati of the last ever.
Is his second year removed from Marvin Lewis, or is Marvin Lewis still there?
No, Lewis is gone.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's his second year removed.
I think it's
from
the
him,
first.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. So we'll see how he goes.
Pats dominate the Steelers. I called the win, but I did not call the blowout.
Nobody would have saw that coming.
They showed us they don't need Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
First Monday night game, Saints defeat the Texans with literally a last-second 58-yard field goal.
Killer game.
30-28. Will Lutz kicks a career long by one more yard. His previous record was 57, and that thing could have been good from 65.
Yeah.
I mean, he kicked the
nailed
hell out of that ball.
Just
Broncos Raiders. What was the score there?
I think that was a cool
24-16. That's right. Yeah, because the Broncos kind of came back and scored a little bit towards the end, but it was too
Oakland
late.
Looked really good.
Oakland
actually
looked good, and it's good to see Gruden in the black and silver again.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a Raiders fan, but for their last year in Oakland, it's kind of cool to see them come back home.
Did you see their little rookie running back dive over like 3 yards into the end zone? Over the pile,
They
3
look
yards
good.
deep. That was crazy.
They kind of look like they don't need Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Tyrell Williams did really good.
They played well. I mean, Broncos didn't look so great. Flacco looked good.
Yeah.
Their offensive line did not, and unfortunately, their top offensive lineman went down. And we'll hop into injuries for the week. C.J. Mosley went out with a groin injury in the fourth quarter after recording 1 pick six and a fumble recovery. He was having a heck of a game before that.
That's got us hurt to have him go down like that, especially at the end of the game. It's
Patrick Mahomes suffers a sprained ankle. Not good, especially for a quarterback like him. He needs that ankle.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, any football player does, but
I don't think they'll hold him out. They'll just wrap that leg.
I got to say,
wrap it real tight next time.
I got to say real quick, just a quick honorary chump of the week early on. Patrick Mahomes for the no-look pass that was absolutely not necessary and completely throwing it up into the stands, basically. It was just do it when you need to. Do it when you need to. Don't do it just because it's your thing.
Oh, gosh. At least he tried.
Tyreek Hill hospitalized with a shoulder injury, sternal clavicle joint injury. That sounds
bad.
very uncomfortable. I'm not exactly
They're saying he
sure.
could be out for weeks, like a few weeks.
I imagine that's like right here.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that hurts so bad.
You know it hurts.
Ravens corner Jimmy Smith out with a knee injury. Malik Jackson of the Eagles carted off the field in the fourth quarter. Joe Mixon, ankle sprain, expected to be okay.
I think the Malik Jackson, I don't think he'll be back for a few weeks because they said the ankle or the leg, whatever he went down with, was pretty bad.
Right. And I'm blanking out on the corner's name from the Raiders game. He got kind of whiplashed in the back of the head by his own player's leg.
Yeah, that was bad.
I think his name was Mosley too, or something like that. I'm totally blanking out.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
And it sucked to see. He had to be carted off as well. We have to mention that, and that's always a scary sight. Fans were. I mean, of course, he did give the thumbs up. And fans got loud for that.
Oh yeah,
which is good. I mean, of course, it was their hometown guy. Well, in terms of playing for them, but it's just always good to see the crowd react positively to an injury. And,
you're always looking for that thumbs up, though.
Yeah. Oh, always. And he gave it, so that's good. That's it for injuries. There's definitely more, but it's time to jump into our NFL Pick'em Week 2. Ready. Let's start off with Tampa Bay at Carolina Thursday night. Who you got?
Tampa Bay at Carolina. I'm going Carolina on this one.
I'm going to go with Carolina as well.
I like Carolina.
Tampa does not play in Carolina well typically.
No.
And it's hard for me to trust them, unfortunately. San Francisco at Cincinnati.
San Francisco at Cincinnati. That one's hard for me, actually. What are you thinking? I'll let you go first on this one.
I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to say Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They played Seattle pretty strong.
They really did.
I think that was a good sign for them. I think they'll continue that momentum and move forward with it.
San Francisco had a solid game too, though.
True.
Don't get me wrong.
This is true, but Jameis gave the ball up a lot. Andy Dalton did not. So...
I think I'll lean towards Cincy on that one, too.
Okay.
We'll go with Cincy.
Carolina and Cincy. Chargers at Detroit Lions.
I'm going Chargers all day.
Yeah, that's obvious.
I mean, the Lions barely came away with a tie against the Cardinals.
Watch the Lions win.
Yeah.
Minnesota at Green Bay.
I like that one, but I got to go with Minnesota. I'm riding them, dude.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
All right.
I think they're gonna start coming alive.
They do have a very solid defense.
They looked way better against the Bears.
Oh yeah, that dude Jair Alexander they got. Jair, he's so solid.
Yeah.
He hasn't really got a chance to shine yet, but he will.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That's our first head-to-head right there. You pick Minnesota, I pick Green Bay.
All righty.
Indianapolis at Tennessee.
This one's hard for me for some reason because I know that Tennessee flops after big games like this. So I'm gonna go with Indy.
I'm gonna go with the risk and take Tennessee.
All right.
I think Indy's just in a weak spot, and I think Tennessee will take advantage of that.
Tennessee's defense looked very solid.
I'm gonna say Tennessee wins this one. I think, depending on how both teams play down the line past this week, that Tennessee will probably lose the game in Indy. But we'll get to that when we get to it.
We're playing in Tennessee. Yeah, I still take Indy.
Yeah, let's go head-to-head on that one.
Yep.
New England at Miami.
New England, for sure.
New England has a tough time in Miami, but I'm not kidding. It's true, but this year might be a little different.
It's gonna be like 65-3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with New England. Buffalo at New York Giants.
This one could be a dumpster fire.
I'm gonna go with the Giants.
Yeah, my gut wants to tell me the Giants because I think Saquon Barkley could run all over that defense. Honestly, I'm gonna go with the Giants on that one.
Okay. Seattle at Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
I think Pittsburgh's out for revenge, and it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I'm
Tomlin always gets his guys fired up, but I'm gonna go Seattle. I'm gonna go head-to-head with you on that one.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Dallas at Washington.
You know who I'm picking?
Yeah, I know who you're picking.
You know who I'm picking.
I'm going to say Dallas gets that win as well.
Oh, yeah. I say it's close. I say it's a 24-21 kind of game.
Arizona at Baltimore.
Ooh. Baltimore.
If you pick Baltimore, I want you to give me how bad.
How bad it's going to be for Arizona?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Baltimore by at least 20. I'm going to say at least a 2-score game for sure.
Yeah.
I would have to say like somewhere around 31-14 or 17
yeah,
or
I could
something
see
like
that. I think we're kind of on the same page there with Baltimore. Jacksonville, the Foles Jacksonville. Folesless, sorry.
Hey, that backup looked good.
Who was their backup?
I don't know. He had a weird name.
Oh.
But he was good.
Jacksonville at Houston.
I don't like that for him because Houston's coming off that loss.
Yeah, I think Houston's
Saints.
Also out to get somebody, and Jacksonville's in prime spot with a
J.J. Watt might eat that quarterback up, dude.
Kansas City at Oakland, starting off the afternoon games on Sunday.
I'm going Kansas City. I don't think Oakland's got it against Kansas City right now. My heart cannot let me take Oakland right now.
I'm gonna say Oakland stays with that fire.
You think?
I think they're gonna sneak one out here and surprise people.
Okay, all right, I like that. Early in the season, you can't go wrong with a little upset every now and then.
I think Gruden's got. I think he's pissed.
Yeah, most likely.
And I don't think we've seen a pissed off Gruden in a while.
I love it. Chucky's here, boy.
Yep, there you go. You got Chicago at Denver, also an afternoon game on Sunday.
Ooh, Chicago at Denver.
That might also be a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chicago, though.
I'm going to go with Denver.
Yeah, that's
going to go with the home field advantage and Joe Flacco.
Ooh, Mile High Stadium, yeah.
Flacco's better than Trubisky.
Dang. I gave that one to you pretty much, but
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see.
Tariq Cohen, baby, let's go.
New Orleans at LA Rams. That's going to be a matchup.
I like that, but I'm going to ride with Breeze again.
Yep,
I'm going here. Breeze, baby.
Yeah, same. Sunday night, you got a thriller: the Birds versus the other Birds.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia at Atlanta.
I think I'm just going to take whoever you don't take, dude. That's who I'm going with. I'm going head-to-head with you on this. Okay. I'm going to make it interesting.
Okay. I think Philadelphia's going to come in there and get the win. I think Atlanta's shook by Minnesota, man.
Pulling for Atlanta. Let's go, baby.
Okay.
I doubt they do it, but Julio, you better
You're-
like 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what we need, baby. Come on.
Yeah, we'll say. Hey, I'm not going to put it past him. Your mess of a Monday night game, Cleveland at the New York Jets.
Ooh, with newly acquired Demaryius Thomas.
Ooh, good point.
Ah.
That is a good point.
I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the Browns. I think they get mad. And do it.
I'm going to go with the Jets.
All right.
Because I just hope the Browns fail this year. To be perfectly honest, after the way they played.
You
on
hope they
Sunday.
pull a dream team from like the Eagles. We're the dream team. It's just like, TJ didn't like that one either. Vince Young. Just
What's your total points for the Monday night game with both teams?
both teams. Run me back the games again for Monday night.
It's just one. It's
Okay.
Cleveland and New York Jets.
Okay. Total for both teams. I'm gonna go. I think this is another one of those like kind of low scoring games. So I'm gonna say like 24-10.
Well, give me the
about
raw
34-35.
34-35. I was gonna say about 39-40.
All right.
Somewhere in there. Somewhere.
I feel it. Those are some strong picks. I think we're gonna do good on some head-to-heads this week. We might actually not end up tied.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Right. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break for our Rise Up podcast community advertisement, and we'll come back and talk college football week 2.
I'm Ty Yeager, and I want to introduce you to the Rise Up podcast community, a community for podcasters created by podcasters, dedicated to the promotion and growth of podcasts everywhere. Rise Up is not a network. There are no contracts and no control over your content. Just a vessel for you to spread the word of your work and connect with fellow podcasters to collaborate, create, and promote. And guess what? It doesn't cost you a single cent to join the community. Join the Rise Up podcast community today by visiting our website at bit.ly/riseuppodcommunity and follow the community on Twitter at RUPodCommunity. Again, that's bit.ly/riseuppodcommunity and at RUPodCommunity on Twitter. Come and join the community of podcasts and rise up with us. Rise Up Podcast Community.
All right, we're back. College football week 2. Let's go.
Let's get it.
We're going to start off with LSU defeating Texas. LSU was number 6 going into this game, now number 4. Beat number 9 Texas, now number 12, 45-38. In Texas, NCAA's game of the week. You had Joe
Barn burner, man.
Yeah, no lie. It was a good game
Solid game.
for sure.
Everything we expected.
Yep. You had Joe Burrow, 31 for 39, 471 yards.
That's what I'm talking about.
4
man.
touchdowns and 1 interception.
That's the college football I like. I like seeing them just air it out. Let's
Massive
go.
offense. Case
Yes.
Keenum style, baby. The air raid
Yes.
offense. Justin Jefferson, 9 receptions, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Woo. The boy is on fire.
Those are some numbers. Joe Burrow, with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the fourth, avoids a sack as he gets hit. He throws 15 yards down the field to Jefferson, which then ran 61 yards for the touchdown. I mean, that was a crazy play.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it, man.
No question.
I mean, 61 yards.
Yeah.
Gone.
That's a big play. It was a high-scoring game where Texas took their first lead with 7-3. Then LSU gained back the lead 10-7 and never let go after that. So they kind of just
Bye.
held on to it.
Not coming home.
Going from good games to not so good teams, we're going to kind of combine things here a little bit. Florida State and UT both struggling. FSU got the win by sheer luck. Louisiana Monroe. They eked by ULM in overtime when Monroe missed on an extra point when they scored to tie it in
That
overtime.
hurts.
So it should have been into double overtime, but they shanked the
That
extra
hurts,
point.
man. That hurts bad.
So FSU didn't really win that game,
No.
in my mind, as a Seminoles fan. And UT loses again, this time to Brigham Young University, BYU.
In overtime, too. This is a heartbreaker, man.
Yep.
Heartbreaker. I mean, what can you say? UT's Yeah, you're done. Call it a day. Go on home, y'all.
Yeah, and they're just looking rough right now.
Well, I think the timeline for that coach is getting thinner and thinner, man.
Yeah, Pruitt's future in UT does not look good.
The time is running out.
Losing players, losing games, just not good. Speaking of good and not good, you had some upsets and close calls this week. You had an upset. University of Southern California, USC, defeats number 23 Stanford 45-20.
Just whooped them.
That's not what I expected in that game.
No, like I expected Stanford. Like I expected the score to be flipped. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean USC hasn't been doing much lately. Like,
Yeah. You had Cal defeat number 14 Washington 20-19 in a close game.
Ooh. Cal's one of them teams that can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
I mean, they get recruits. You can't sleep
You can't
on
deny
these
the
teams,
West
man.
Coast. Yeah.
No.
I mean, Washington's over there too, but I mean, this is another top 25 team going down. And then, speaking of which, number 25 went down to Colorado.
Man, Nebraska,
man. As loyal listeners as you guys are, sorry, you guys just got knocked out of the top
sorry.
25. They lost in overtime, 34-31.
Well, it's no shame to lose in a game like that. I mean,
Yeah.
when it's that close, it's you could have pulled it out if a couple plays went your way.
You're going to have some heartbreakers.
Oh yeah.
Especially in college football. Maryland, big
Speaking
upset. Big upset. Defeated number 21 Syracuse 63-20.
Their running game was on full display in that game.
They said
bad.
number 21 does not mean anything to me.
Who?
Number 7 Michigan barely beats Army in 2 overtimes, 24-21.
Imagine if Army pulls that off.
And I believe there's a controversial targeting call at the end of that game.
Ooh.
May have affected that. Number 24 Boise State barely beats Marshall 14-7 in a low-scoring game.
Talk about a snoozer.
Marshall has a tendency to sneak up like that once in a while.
Oh yeah, I've seen them beat some big teams before. I mean,
Yeah.
it happens. It's the NCAA. Look at UT right now.
Right. Yeah, no lie. Another big game for the week. Number 1 Clemson defeats Texas A&M, number 12, 24-10. Trevor Lawrence of Clemson passed for 24 of 35, 268 yards, 1 touchdown.
A little better than last week.
A little better. Lynn J. Dixon, 11 rushes, 79 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. And Clemson has tied their school record for 17 straight wins, so
Man.
likely to break it next week.
Yeah. Most likely.
Most likely.
I
We'll
would
get to
say
that.
so.
We'll get to that in just a second. Some major injuries in the world of college football. Florida Gators key player Kadarius Toney and cornerback C.J. Henderson both
that
went down
hurts.
this week.
That
South
hurts.
Carolina loses their quarterback Jake Bentley for the season with a foot injury. And Mississippi State quarterback Tommy Stevens left the game with a shoulder injury, questionable for next game against Kansas State. That could be a painful game for them next week if they're not careful.
Man.
Speaking of games next week,
Oh yeah.
we got key games, key matchups for week 3, and we ran a poll. We'll talk about that in just a second. Number 1, Clemson at Syracuse, 6:30 p.m. on Saturday night. Little ACC rivalry. Syracuse played Clemson real well last year. Close game. Almost beat them.
But after this loss,
But
it's
after that
like,
loss to Maryland, I don't know.
I don't have much faith in them now, man. They might come back and just smack Clemson. You never know.
Right.
They could get mad.
Yeah.
It happens in football.
Yep.
Play with a chip on your shoulder. You're surprised what happens.
Well, speaking of a chip on his shoulder times 2, you got number 17 UCF. Always has the chip on the shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
They're hosting Stanford, who's probably got a chip on their shoulder for that loss.
Oh, yeah.
That should be an interesting game.
I'm definitely going to tune in for that one, I think.
That is 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. Also on Saturday at 3 p.m., you have number 19 Iowa with their in-state rivals at Iowa State.
Okay, I changed my mind. I might click over to this at 3 o'clock.
This should be a good game. Some people I was reading were kind of hating on this game and the selection, but I mean, in-state rivalry games are typically some of the best.
It's good stuff. It's fun.
It'll be fun to watch. And then an SEC option in this poll is number 9, Florida at UK, Kentucky.
Kentucky can sneak up on people.
6 p.m. Saturday night.
Florida better watch out.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been kind of they haven't been very consistent,
No.
So Kentucky could come in there and just have a good game, and it's over for Florida right there.
Yep. Well, let's take a look at the current poll results. This poll is up till game day. We have 137 votes so far. You barely have now. This thing has been going up and down like crazy. I mean, literally everyone's had the lead at some point. Stanford at UCF has not had it for a while. They're at 17%, coming in last right now. After that, you got number 19 Iowa at Iowa State at 26%.
They were in the lead for a while.
They were. That was pretty surprising to see. It was pretty cool. Number 1 Clemson at Syracuse at 28% in second place, and right now you got number 9 Florida at UK at 29%. Big surprise. SEC.
See, man.
SEC. That's all I had to say.
The SEC is what it's fun football to watch. And when they're rivals, it's like you never know what could happen, and everybody's just kind of waiting to see if Florida loses to this Kentucky team.
Yep. Check with us next episode. We will let you know which game won the poll and which game delivered. Might be the same game.
Yeah, buddy. Who's your pick? What do you think?
I'm going to say that Stanford UCF.
Should we pick winners for each game? Let's do that.
Let's do that.
That could be
I
fun.
will answer your question and say I think that Stanford UCF game's a sleeper.
Oh yeah. I think that'll be a good one for sure.
Let's see. Number 1 Clemson at Syracuse.
I'm going Clemson on that one. I think
Clemson. Stanford at UCF.
I'm thinking Stanford bounces back, but UCF is solid.
UCF
my
is
heart's
solid.
telling me Stanford, though.
I'm going to go head-to-head with you on that. UCF.
All right.
Number 19, Iowa at Iowa State.
Iowa State got knocked out of the top 25.
They did. I'm going to say Iowa keeps rolling.
Yeah. I can't bring myself to go head-to-head with you on that one.
Yeah. And then number 9, Florida at University of Kentucky.
I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm saying Kentucky.
I'm gonna go with you on this one. I have an upset feeling on that.
I do too. We'll see. We'll probably be way wrong, but it's okay.
Watch Syracuse be the only one that ends up winning and getting the upset. Or something.
I would be happy for that. I love when the rankings get shaken up like that. That's the best thing ever.
Yeah. Anyways, we appreciate the participation in the polls. Look for more later on Twitter, usually posted there at No Timeouts Left 1. We're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to come back with some UFC 242 talk with TJ and Mike.
Let's get it. All right, we are back. UFC talk, man. I'm here. It's Money Mike and Taylor Franz. What's up, dude? Franz?
Taylor Franz. It was TJ Franz last week.
Hey, man, it's whatever you want to be. You can be as grown up as you want to be, man.
That's what's up.
All right. So it's Taylor or TJ?
We'll make it TJ.
Okay, TJ Franz. I'm going to say your last name right this time. All right. Start it off, man. What do we got?
Man, 242.
242.
242.
We actually watched this one separately.
Yeah.
This is the first time in a long time.
And it was a major fight.
Gosh.
I can't believe it.
I couldn't believe it either, man. I couldn't believe it. Started off, what we start off with, Curtis Blades was the first one?
Yeah, Curtis Blades, just shut it down, man, the whole time.
It was bad.
He, dude, he was dominating as the last 10 seconds, just dropping elbows.
Oh, and he kept taking him down.
He was
The dude couldn't get up.
If there would have been another 15, 20 seconds left in that first round, I'm sure they probably would have called it then.
No, they would have had to.
But, he ended up winning 2 minutes, 22 seconds into the second round, so.
Only 8 total strikes with only 3 landing for Shamil.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I said, he just completely shut that down.
There was not much he could do. I mean, these wrestlers that come in here, it's just hard to go against a guy like that.
I mean, dude, Curtis Blades has 2 losses.
Yeah.
From the same guy.
Who?
Francis Ngannou.
Oh.
So, I mean, you think about it.
forgot.
You think about it. He's a beast, man. He's a beast.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
So he's got to go through the dude that's gave him his only 2 losses.
If they give him the third fight.
We'll see.
We will see.
We'll see.
But next, man, we got Paul Felder actually beat Barboza via split decision.
That was kind of a controversial decision too.
It was.
You heard the crowd.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a bloodfest, man. It was Slug City.
So bad.
Not a lot of wrestling, but you can always guarantee there's going to be a lot of strikes between them two.
You were kind of waiting for it to go into like a ground game.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for the whole time. I was like, okay, they're not just going to stand here and bang with each other
the whole time.
That's exactly what happened.
It was a good fight though. I mean,
it was a great fight.
I remember last week I said I wouldn't put my money against Barboza, but I mean, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
So,
and didn't Paul Felder, he's lost to Barboza twice, hasn't he?
I believe so.
I believe so. That was the third fight.
Times.
Something like that. Yeah, Paul Felder actually won. So, not bad. Not bad.
But, I mean, and then, of course, you had the main event.
Oh, the main event.
The main event was it was.
I felt so bad for Poirier, man.
I was heartbroken. Honestly, the whole week I've been talking so much smack about saying if Poirier keeps his standing, he's gonna win. He had a good dude.
He had maybe
good.
like 10 seconds in the whole fight where he wasn't on his back against the cage.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll give him 30 seconds the whole fight.
Hey,
where he wasn't up against the cage with Khabib with his hooks in on his back.
Oh, of course. And then when he ties their feet up
Yeah.
over each other, dude, that's crazy.
Like he's trying to slide up. You got control of his feet. You're controlling the wrist, and you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like you wait for the dude to get tired. I mean, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, you saw
dude.
You saw Poirier looking over to his corner,
He didn't
just
know
like
what to do, man.
his eyes are all wide.
I mean, Khabib is just a monster. He's a bully.
Did you hear him when he went to his corner and he said something like, I just don't know what to do. He just keeps coming. Like, he keeps trying to take me down. His corner's like, stay away from the fence. You can get up. Like, just stay away from the fence. And what does he do? He backs up.
Hey,
what happens?
1 point, though. 1 point in time in the third round, he almost had a guillotine.
Yeah.
I thought he had it.
That guillotine was tight.
Man, you could tell his arms were getting so weak.
How did you almost lose your voice? Because I almost did. I was screaming at my team, come on, you got it,
if
Dustin.
Khabib would have lost to a submission, I would have flipped.
Dude, as soon as it happened, I was kind of on my phone, like, during the fight. I think I was, like, texting you back or something, and this happened, and I just, like, dropped everything. I stood up, and I'm just screaming. Like, I can feel my face getting red, but I didn't even care. I'm just by myself in the middle of the house. Come on, Dustin. You better choke him out.
It was a good fight,
I just wanted to see history be made.
Yeah,
which I guess I did either way.
Yeah, I was going to say history
Khabib's
still got made.
undefeated.
28-0, man.
Jeez.
So, I mean, 28-0 won. By the way, he did win by a submission. He won by rear naked choke.
Oh yeah, right after that guillotine.
Yeah, right after the guillotine.
He got his hips to the side and popped the head out, and it was over.
Man, I mean, he had a couple barrel rolls in there, and I mean, you could I guarantee you, the way he had them, he could tell his arms were getting tired.
Oh yeah.
And the second after that, man, there wasn't no stopping it. It was quick.
Like
as soon
the
as he
look on Dustin's
up,
face after he let go, he was just like, "Oh well, here it comes," you know.
Yeah. So,
just bad. And then they traded shirts after the fight. I thought that was really cool.
I will say this, man. I'm not a huge Khabib fan. I love what he does in UFC because I was watching him wrestle, and regardless, watching him fight. Period is just.
I mean, the dude's a monster.
Yeah.
You can't take that.
Just
from
watching
him.
him bully people just amazes me, and major respect to him for trading shirts. And I think he said something about he's going to sell the shirt that he got from Dustin Poirier and give it all the money to charity, to his charity. I think it was
Dustin
his charity.
Poirier's charity or whatever one he works with.
And
whatever.
then Dana White said that he'd match whatever.
Dude.
Yeah,
that's great sportsmanship.
Dana White's
right there.
got a couple of champs in my eyes for this week.
And me being as competitive as I am, I don't know if I could put on another man's shirt after he just whooped the crap out of me.
Dude.
So that takes some balls.
Exactly.
I'll say that.
Definitely Dana White with the new belt coming out for the Masvidal and Nate fight. That's gonna be my year champ every week.
The baddest mother effer on the planet.
It's go, dude. That's awesome.
In the game,
one time thing.
was the quote.
I think it was a BMF belt.
Yeah,
pretty sure it's what it is.
And The Rock. He's talking about presenting it.
Yeah, The Rock possibly putting it around the winner. That would be cool, man.
Imagine The Rock wrapping a championship belt around your waist.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And I think there's another
what kind of alternate reality is this?
Tom was it? We just saw it just a second ago.
Oh yeah, the Wonder Boy.
Yeah, Wonder Boy
and Luke.
Yeah, Wonder Boy and Luke.
Ooh.
I think it's gonna be the co-main. Is actually what it said.
I got my money on Luke. Luke's on a tear, dude. That dude's amazing.
I'd love to see him throw Jones up in there in another card. That'd be cool.
Who's he gonna fight though? Who?
I don't know.
Who's left?
I'll just say move him up to heavyweight. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
Just send him up there. That's all I want to see.
We'll see about that.
But next up, though, man, for Khabib, Dana White already said Ferguson's getting the fight. Yeah. That's all his.
And Khabib wants Ferguson, too.
Yeah, and I mean, Ferguson wants Khabib.
Yeah, and Ferguson coming from a wrestling background, like, he might have a chance. He's squirrely.
Yeah.
He's squirrely.
He's just wild.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll never really just see him tamed.
I couldn't, dude. Could you imagine one of them spinning elbows catching Khabib, dude?
I mean, yeah, anything can happen.
Them elbows are sharp on Ferguson.
Yeah, they are.
He busted open Cowboy like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
His nose.
But speaking of your boy Cowboy, man,
he's coming back.
He's got a fight coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
Against Justin Gaethje.
Gaethje, that should be a good little scrap.
It's gonna be nice, dude.
That's some stand-up game right there.
It's gonna be nice.
That's gonna be a good one. I always ride with Cowboy though.
Yeah.
I always ride with Cowboy. That's my boy.
Man, I mean,
mainly because I'm a Cowboys fan, but it's a cool nickname, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got a good record since he's had his kid, and I've got kids, so happy. You know, that's cool. That's a good.
He's got something to fight for.
It's a lucky baby.
You know?
So, but neither one of them's ever fought before. The only 2 losses, Gaethje's 20-2. 2 losses is from Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier,
former champions.
Exactly. So I mean, can't count them out, man.
I mean, but Cowboy is practically a champion. He's like an MMA lifer. The dude's got like all the records for like longevity, basically.
Yeah.
Like he's just been in the UFC for so long. He's gotten like all the strike records and all the like, what is it, knockouts or something? I don't know.
We saw a couple of them last fight we watched.
I can't go over all of them because I can't even remember, but he's got a lot.
But, I mean, hell, the last fight he came from was when he blew his nose against Ferguson.
Yeah, and his eyes blew up.
Shut.
Oh,
yeah.
That was horrible.
I mean, that was a great fight.
It was a great fight.
It could have went another round.
He had a lot of heart, but, I mean, he lost his mind for a second and just said, "Oh, I'm gonna blow this nose," and then he's like, "Oh,
and
crap."
He was doing good, man.
He even said after the fight that was a rookie move.
Yeah. Oh man.
I guess fighters just knows when you break your nose as a fighter, you don't blow it, because that's what's gonna happen.
Live and you learn, man. Live and you learn.
We'll see.
But I mean, that's about it for 242 and what we got coming up. I mean, you know, we do got the Masvidal and Diaz fight coming up, but you know, we'll get to there.
Yeah,
we'll get to there.
That'll be a good one.
If you want to hear about what we got to say about that, just give us a listen.
Okay, what's your picks on that fight?
On Gaethje and Cerrone?
Gaethje and Cerrone and Diaz Masvidal.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. I'm definitely going. I have to go Gaethje just because.
Okay.
I'll go Gaethje. I mean,
I'll go head to head with you.
I'll rep the Cowboy with you sometimes.
Yeah,
just because I like Cowboy, but I got to go Gaethje this one.
Okay, I can see that.
And you know I'm going Nate Diaz, dude. Come on now.
Yeah.
I got to stick with my boy.
I can't go head to head with you on that. Even though I like what Masvidal's been doing.
Exactly.
And he might possibly win, but
it's gonna be
Nate
a good
Diaz
fight.
Looked great in that last fight.
It's gonna be a good fight. I can't wait. I just can't wait to see that belt. that belt too. If you haven't seen the picture, you got to check it out.
Yeah, go ahead and check it out. Well, all right, y'all.
All right, man.
That's about it for UFC talk. We'll go into some Chance versus Chumps. All right, it's time for some Champs versus Chumps. Let's get it.
What's our first champ there, Mike?
First champ, Dana White, for pulling the plug on BJ Penn. Pretty after the fights he had, the 2 fights. They were actually with the same guy. I looked this up.
Wow.
Same guy, and the 2 different videos, they're actually the same fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They just like cut it up to make it look like. That's what BJ said anyway.
Well,
so don't know. But yeah, he got in 2 fights with a guy in Hawaii. It looks like at first Penn gets knocked out. That's what it looked like in the first fight, and then the second one, he's just like beating up on dude. So
Right.
Obviously not a good look. And this is just a reoccurring thing with BJ Penn lately. His ex-girlfriend's got a restraining order against him. Did you know about that?
I did see something about that.
Yeah, and that's what pretty much White came out and just publicly stated Penn won't be fighting Lentz.
You done?
Yeah, he said he won't fight again. That's it. That's a wrap. So Dana White didn't even want him back in the first place, and the dude's won 9-1 since 2010.
Wow.
So not too hot. He's lost 7 in a row.
Yeah, it's probably
so
time to go.
He didn't want him to fight anymore anyway. So he's like, go on, get out of here.
That's
get your shit
That's
together.
more than enough reason.
Oops.
Well, good on Dana White. Our first chump is an obvious one, as we discussed earlier in the show. Antonio Brown and the Raiders, just everybody involved in the situation was ugly. It was just downright not fun to watch.
Is it like mastermind-ish stuff from Antonio Brown, or is it just like it just happened like that, you know?
I think he intended every bit to get to the Patriots, however.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, however.
For sure.
Whatever it took. Another chump, Quentin Rampage Jackson. What happened there, Mike?
Oh, yeah, this one was good. Quentin actually got in the cage after Ryan Bader's fight in Bellator 226. That happened Saturday night. He was fighting Sheik Congo. And Bader was pretty much winning the fight the whole time from the reports I was seeing. He actually ended up poking him in the eye while he was kind of pushing his face against the cage. And then he was kind of getting into position for a ground and pound. Sheik Congo called foul. It was basically like told the doctors he wasn't going to be able to fight, so that called the match, and it was about 3:52 in the first round. So Bader actually was in the ring, and then I guess Rampage came out there. He's a training partner with Bader, or not Bader, but Congo. And sorry I'm butchering this. I'm just kind of like, this is a lot of information here.
No, you got it.
Yeah, Bader actually did post a slow-mo video of the eye poke, and it turned out that it didn't look so bad. Like, it looked accidental. I mean, it didn't.
Yeah.
It was probably a graze. He probably hurt, but Congo was like, okay, I'm getting my butt kicked anyway. I'm trying to get this fight over with. Like, no contest, whatever. But Quentin was just kind of cursing at Bader, apparently, and Bader was just kind of like, okay, I'm not going to take it anymore. He said, let's go then, and just kind of stepped out in the middle of the ring. And that's when it was kind of like everybody's just scrambling around. That's what you saw, really.
That's not something you need happening.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Yeah. But it's Bellator, so what do you expect?
This is true.
They're up and coming, but we'll see. We'll see how they
Gotta
handle that
more
situation.
There. So another champ, Ryan Fitzpatrick, becomes the first player to throw a touchdown for 8 different teams.
Sheesh.
Yeah. The journeyman is an understatement. Rams, Bengals, Bills, Titans, Texans, Jets, Bucks, and now the Dolphins.
That's crazy.
This man has been around the world and back.
This dude's he's still got a little left on the tires, you know, a little bit of tread there.
Fitzmagic, man.
Yeah.
I loved every bit of it in Tampa.
He got
so fun to watch
by the Ravens, but still.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
what can
it
you
wasn't
do?
just him.
I mean, the Dolphins are not a great team right now.
Yeah. That's our next chump, oddly enough. The Miami Dolphins. Multiple players after that game, according to sources, sought to be traded after losing to Baltimore 59-10. We mentioned that briefly earlier. That's not good.
No.
Your team's already quitting on you week 1.
The same thing happened to the UT Vols. Like, after that week 1 loss.
Yeah, they lost what? 2-3 players?
Two or three players, just requested to be transferred after that game. That's sorry. And then we went on to lose another one, but we already talked about that.
Yes, we did. Next champ is obviously Lamar Jackson for helping the Ravens break a franchise record with 59 total points scored, 42 in the first half.
Killing it.
Not to mention the game we mentioned earlier that Lamar Jackson had. Don't discredit him for that, but I mean, just all these stats here for him are great.
Killer.
Yep. Another quarterback Also setting a game record for the Cowboys in passing yards, Dak Prescott.
That's my boy.
25 of 32 for 405 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions for a perfect passer rating.
Killed it.
158.3.
Killed it, man. And Zeke only played 34 out of 62 snaps. So
wow.
He was relied upon. He was leaned on in that game, and he made it happen. So I'm proud of Dak. That was a great game.
There you go. Another chump, Yasiel Puig, for being himself. He walked directly to the dugout after hitting a ball back to the pitcher and showed no hustle to get to first base. I mean, this guy he acts like he's better than the game, and then yet again instigating a brawl in another game.
Oh, gosh.
It just never ends with this guy. No. So, Yasiel Puig is a chump.
Get it together, man.
Why don't you give me the next champ there, Mike?
The next champ, we got Josh Gordon having a successful return to the football field in his first game back with the Patriots Sunday night.
Yeah, that was good to see.
3 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Not too bad. Nope. Not too shabby. And then they get AB back. Ooh.
Do they really need him?
I don't think they do. I think they proved it right there.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll stick with some college football. Quarterback Steven Montez, a champ out of Colorado. He hits his wide receiver KD Nixon in stride for a 96-yard touchdown, but not just any 96-yard touchdown. It's off a flea flicker out of the back of the end zone.
It. From his own 4-yard line, he did the flea flicker.
Yeah.
Nixon actually caught it at the 40, broke a diving tackle, and then ran the rest of the way just untouched.
Yeah.
This was the longest pass in college football in the last 3 years.
Man,
look that up.
It is amazing how rare that type of play actually is.
Oh, yeah. It's the longest in his school history, in Colorado school history.
Yep.
The last time it happened, you ready for this, TJ? Your LSU Tigers gave one 98-yarder up to Florida in 2016. That was the last time something that big happened.
Yep.
TJ didn't like that, but it's all good.
Well, as a wrestling fan in the bunch, I gotta talk about our next chump, and that's Rev Pro Wrestling, the wrestling promotion, and the wrestler Josh Bodum for the instance of Bodum beating a ref literally into early retirement because of a botched finish where the ref accidentally counted 3. Ridiculous. No need for that. His career should be over. Rev Pro cut ties with him. He instantly deleted his Twitter, and hopefully we just don't see him again. That's insane.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is video of this. You can look it up.
Yeah, you sent
Josh
it to us.
Bodum ref.
It wasn't good. It wasn't pretty.
Speaking of not pretty, the Cleveland Browns are our next chump.
And
just the way they carried themselves in that game, that was absolute trash. They threw multiple cheap shots at Mariota. I saw guys launching at him. I saw guys going after his knee. Yeah. And then Miles Garrett, sorry. Miles Garrett got ejected for throwing a punch. Robinson got ejected for kicking, I forgot which Titans player it was, but he kicked him in the face, or at least the face mask.
Jeez.
And then you have a Browns fan pour beer all over Logan Ryan after a touchdown. Like, really?
That's
Come
just
on.
petty, man. Just take the L. Take that L and go on home.
Yeah, so Cleveland Browns, chumps.
Like overhyped, man.
Yeah,
and that's what happens when you give a city hope and then you end up just being subpar. They're gonna lash out. That's how Cleveland is, man. That's how any sports team is, honestly. Yeah. Any sports fans. We don't like being hyped up and not delivered to, you know?
Yeah, well, a champ that deserves hype. Rafael Nadal.
Oh, yeah.
Need I say more? All I got to say for this, all I have to say is go watch that last set.
Dude, killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it. He's actually one behind Federer now.
Yep.
And the last time he was this close to catching it was 15 years ago, when Federer only had one win.
Wow. How's that for a stat?
Yeah, that's crazy. He's actually the second oldest man to win U.S. Open in the Open era. Ken Rosewall did it at 35 years old in 1970.
Yeah.
Another little shit for you.
Yep. Hey, Mike, why don't you hit me with a couple of fans champs versus chumps?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Ian out of Tennessee. What up, Ian? I know this guy. He's at the fight game community. Gives a shout out to Khabib, the champ for the week, and the Browns, the chump, for getting mollywopped, in quotations, by the Titans after all the hype. Just got done talking about that. That was nice.
Yeah.
Good solid picks. Khabib destroyed Dustin Poirier. There were times he was looking at the fence like, help. It was bad.
Yeah, man.
And the Browns, of course, just dropping the ball. Not good, man.
Yeah.
Not good performance from them. Next up, we got Josiah from, I hope I'm saying that right, Josiah from Michigan. And the fight game community give the Lions the chump for letting a Kyler Murray comeback after looking like a 12-year-old in the first half. He throws 2 TDs and 150 yards in the second to tie the game. Same old Lions, he said. His champ is Khabib as well for being the best at what he does, saying Dustin is a stud and he made him look like a child, broke his will and tapped. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. It was bad. That's what he does to everybody, you know? Like, you can't stop this kid. Well, I say kid, he's probably our age. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
All right, you want to do the last two? Or?
Yeah, we got Warren out of Tennessee. He gives us champ of the week is Delaney Walker for having a great first game back. Awesome. That's a good choice.
Yeah. After that ankle, man, that ankle looked bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Also, for a third time this week, he too is giving the Browns the chump. For being all hype and no game. Yeah, that's pretty much the narrative we're going with on them. So, right there with you.
I picked them too. I can't believe I picked them, man.
Yeah.
Never again.
I did too, actually. That's right. Yeah. I never picked the Titans because they always mess my sheet up. But,
yeah, we'll see.
Ross out of Ireland in the fight game community champ goes to Republic of Ireland's soccer team remaining undefeated and staying on top of their group in the UEFA Euro qualifiers.
Dang.
His chump is also Dustin Poirier for coming in with no plan and doing as bad as everyone else against Khabib.
Yeah. I mean, Khabib's a monster. How many times do we got to tell y'all? The dude's bad. I want to see him get beat eventually because I don't like anybody going undefeated. I mean, I hate that Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s undefeated. That kills me. But we'll see what Ferguson's got. We'll see.
And our final champ, great story here, is a Florida boy who was bullied over his homemade UT shirt, University of Tennessee. UT made the design official, and the demand for the shirt was so high that it crashed the school's website. And that was a few days ago. Now,
so heartwarming.
More than 16,000 shirts inspired by that boy have been sold.
Killing it.
Incredible.
I love that kid.
So as much as UT's going through with football right now, good on them for doing that.
They still have a diehard fan right there. That's
you
pretty sweet.
You cannot. Let me tell you from experience as a Florida State fan, you cannot compare to University of Tennessee Vols' loyalty to their team.
No.
It's insane to me.
It's ridiculous.
It will not die.
Love our Vols. Go Big Orange.
Anyways, that's it for Champs versus Chumps, and that's it for No Timeouts Left, episode 24. We thank everybody for joining us this week, and you can find us on Twitter at No Timeouts Left 1. Also on Instagram at No Timeouts Left 1. You can find me on Twitter at Coach Klein 54, on Instagram at Coach Klein 90. Sorry, that was backwards. Flip those. Mike, where can they find you?
Twitter and Instagram, it'll be Mike Phillips, MICFILLUPS.
Yeah, there you go. We appreciate everyone. We'll see you next time.
Alrighty.